Hello, my name is Gary Seal with the TrueKind Consulting Group. I've come here today to ask you the proverbial question, is knowledge power? Now, some people would immediately jump and say absolutely not, because without applying your knowledge, without using it wisely, then knowledge is simply untapped potential. Well, I say duh to that. Come on. Now, we know and we've heard of some prof who's enormously intelligent who may not be making a mint, but he's still applying it with his students. My particular world is the world of sales, so that's what we're going to address today. Unfortunately, because the time limitation is not in the depth that it could be, because this is a multi-day seminar, but we need to have knowledge in 4 particular areas. Number 1, you need to have great selling skills knowledge. That's what we'll focus on today. Number 2, you need to have very in-depth product knowledge. And then number 3, you need to know your company and your company's capabilities extremely well. And then number 4, you should understand your prospect, your customer. You should be able to know their needs, present to their needs, help them find unique solutions that qualify and uniquely set you aside as the supplier of choice. So let's go back and look at number 1, and that is your selling skills. I clearly remember being in a commercial insurance class one time. We went around and introduced ourselves. There were about 25 people in the class. I remember I felt so sorry for the people who did not have selling skills experience and training, simply because they had 2 very large hills to overcome. That was product knowledge. It's an enormous field with a lot of details. And then the selling field is something that, do you ever really master it? I think a few do, but for the most part, it's a lifelong learning experience. Things change all the time. So let's look at some of those components. Number 1 would be time management. Compared to almost any other associate, you have more latitude in the way you spend their time than anybody. And if you don't have the discipline there, that's going to create problems for you. Then the wonderful world of human relations and psychology. How do you establish and maintain good working relationships with your internal staff, your support staff, your customer service people, your management, the engineers, and all the other organizational people that make a difference in how you work in the field, and also, of course, the concept of how you work with your prospects. Very huge right there. Organization, working with your CRM, the other software, setting priorities and things of that nature are very important. So organization promotes your profitability. And then, of course, you've got to get out and prospect and qualify. Now, whether you work for a very large company where there's a huge separation between marketing, or you're a very small company employee where you, in fact, are probably the sales, the marketing, maybe customer fulfillment all rolled into one, you need to understand that whole area. And then, as you do your research, that means you need to have some great questioning skills, be able to probe and probe diplomatically so the customer is willing to divulge important pieces of information that will help you move your sale along, help them understand why you are the best choice. That means that you also need to practice your persuasion in a presentation format. Now today that takes many different types of styles and different venues. We also work and exist in an area of very large geographic coverage where we can't get on an airplane and fly somewhere. We need to be very creative in the way we present. And then, of course, the proverbial and very important issue of how we follow up, and eventually, when it comes to the right time, we have to close properly. Are you actually earning a return on your investment? And then, last but certainly not least, long-term customer relationship skills. It's rare that you have a one and done sale. It may be for a period of years, but keep in mind that at some time or the other, product innovations or some aspect of growth for your customers are going to possibly necessitate them wanting to purchase from you again, and you don't want to have burned your bridges behind you. Those are just a few of the components of the whole world of selling skills. It involves a lot of judgment, a lot of intuitiveness, and they can also be highly structured and data-driven as well. These things are just huge for you as a selling platform. Combine your selling skills knowledge with knowledge of your products, with knowledge of your company, with knowledge of your customers. Those 4 components will take you a long way and have you prosper throughout your sales career. Is it easy? No. Is it important? Yes. Is knowledge power? I think I've answered that question, and the answer is yes.